Hi, Trinity West and South. We are now on week 3, and your teachers have given me a big list of things that they wish you knew about Google Classroom, but you need some work on. So that is going to be your technology lesson for this week. Okay, so here is the list that I have gotten from 15 of your teachers. A lot of them had the same things to say. The first thing they want you to work on is using the keyboard and mouse better and typing to communicate effectively. I feel like that is a separate lesson all on its own. So 3rd through 5th, you did that as your week 2 lesson. K through 2, you will be working on that next week. Check your emails daily. Okay, so I have gotten permission from a student and her mom to show you her account so that we can use it as a demo. To check your email, you're going to go to mail.google.com and we'll hit enter on that. You'll put in your username at trinityhillers.net. It's very important that you type the whole email. We learned if you don't, then it will put you in at Gmail and it won't work. All right, and now I'm going to put in her password, and that gets me into the email. So you can see that this student hasn't been checking her email. So she has messages from friends, she has an email from me, she has scores from her teachers. So you definitely want to be checking your email every day. So I'm going to pull up the technology update because everybody had gotten this email if you were in 3rd through 5th grade. If she wanted to reply to this email, this arrow is the reply, and then she can write me a message. Thank you for Dan it better. And then to send, we can press send. Now let's say that she wanted to compose an email to me to start her own email. So we can go back to the inbox if we wanted to. These are the emails in the list. We can compose, that means to write our own email. To is who you're sending to. So let's say she wants to send it to me. If she starts typing my last name, it will come up with me here and she can click on it and then it puts me in. You want to give it a subject. Help with week 2. Then you want to write an email that makes sense and is clear so that your teacher knows what you're asking. If you are sending it to a teacher that has a lot of students, like me with 700 students, last name's not a bad idea, although I should be able to figure it out from your email address. And we're going to click send. You can also attach files if you need to do that. And this would delete the email if you decided you don't actually want to send it. Okay, so her message is sent. Next on the list is understanding when assignments are done and how to resubmit if they need to be corrected. So we're going to go into the Google Apps, the 9 dots. In my first video, we nicknamed that the waffle. And we're going to Google Classroom. And I made a fake class down here. Actually, let me go into my real class for a minute. So the way I set up mine is in the stream, it has your assignment for the week. So here is my technology lesson for that week, week 1. Here is my second one for week 2, and this new one will be popping up shortly. So we can go into classwork. And you can see that all of this student's classwork assignments are gray, which means she has completed them all. Let's check another class. Let's check her science class. So again, we're going to go into classwork. And you can see that the gray ones are complete and the purple ones still need to be done. So let's go into this water cycle one that was for Monday. And we want to click View Assignment. So once you've completed an assignment, it's really important to hit this button here, Mark as Done. So in Miss McCracken's science class, the button is colored purple because her color scheme is purple. In my class, it's blue because my color scheme is blue. Gray means it's complete, and colored means that you need to do it still or to mark it as complete. Let's go back to my fake class for a minute. All right, so this is a class that's not real. I just made a fake one so we could play with a few things in it. And I have 3 assignments here. So this is what 3rd through 5th grade completed last week, the accuracy assignment. And you can see that I pretended Riley's answer was I did it. And you can see I sent her a private comment, and it says, "You did not do the assignment correctly. Please resubmit." Well, I actually learned something new last week that I had messed up. If I sent your score back to you, it will not let you edit it. So in order to resubmit because of your teacher's mistake, you would need to type it correctly in here. So you might send a private comment back, "I can't resubmit. I will type my answer here for you." I'm going to send that. And then I'm going to type the assignment correctly. Mrs. caught this thing for my health, period. I look it over, it all looks good, so I'm going to send that. I should have just sent them a comment and the explanation of what they should have done. Okay, let me refresh this. Remember that circular arrow is your refresh button. And you can see the comment, and if this were real, I would have put more details in there about how she should fix it. And then she would be able to go in and edit it because I didn't actually give it a grade. So then she could type it correctly. Mrs. Coppice, thanks. Okay, so I've turned it in again. Let me show you on the teacher side. Refresh. Okay, so now I can see her new one. I can still see the turned in history, so I can see the older versions of what she did. And she did it correct. Much better. Send her the comment and return the grade. Okay, let's look at it on Riley's side again. Okay, you can see the answer, the comments, and the grade. Next is becoming fluent in communicating through private comments. I love this one because that is the main method I use to communicate with you. So you saw in the last example how the student and I communicated through the private comments, where they can write a question and I can write responses. Your private comments should be sent to your email. Okay, so through the magic of video editing, you guys have not seen that I've spent the last 30 minutes doing some technical issues here. Teachers are getting the notifications when you've sent a private comment, but you as students are not. Just like it has these score released emails, you should be getting emails that say, so-and-so, whatever your teacher's name is, added a private comment on. And you should be able to click on that email and you should be able to hit reply and go into that comment. Or if there are multiple people signed in and you're not the default, when you hit reply, it will say Google Class can't be found. So you need to make sure that you are the default on that device before you hit reply. The other option would be to just pay attention to what assignment has the private comment and then go specifically to that assignment, because you'll know which teacher it came from and you will know what the assignment was. Typically reply will work, but again, if you're not the default, just pay attention. Google Slides. Okay, we're going to spend a lot of time on this because I know it's not something I ever taught you. It's similar to PowerPoint, so a lot of those skills will transfer over. But your teachers want you to be able to fill it and complete them and edit directly on the slide without putting it into a PDF because you can't edit a PDF. They want you to use the scribble tool and drag and drop. So we have a lot to cover on that. So I'm going to go back into the assignments and I have added some fake ones again for this fake class. So you can see the ones that are colored are the ones that are not done yet. Let's start with this first one. All right, we always want to hit view assignment. Don't just click on any attachments because then you can't see what was written about it. So we're going to choose view assignment. And the teacher's instructions are written for this sample one I just wrote. These are the directions, but your teachers would have detailed assignment directions there, and you definitely want to look at that. All right, so I'm going to click on the assignment because we'll pretend that that's what my directions told me to do. And I'm going to go through the Google Slides on this. So this is one that was not very well set up because they put it in portrait instead of landscape. So all of your stuff is rather small and hard to read. My recommendation for that would be to use your zoom button, and you can adjust it, or you can do just like a simple zoom in, zoom out, and then you can scroll to be able to read because it was much too small to read originally. So let's pretend that we read all of this. I'm going to go to the next one, and we're going to pretend that we read all of this one. Moving on. All right, so this is one where we have to actually put things in. So it says, write the value of the underlined digit in the following numbers. And again, if this were at regular view, it's very hard to read this and very hard to be able to type in these tiny little boxes. If you need to get out of the zoom mode, you go right back to this arrow, which is your select tool, and then you'll be able to work with it again. Okay, so I know the answer to this one. I'm going to select my text here, and typically I would backspace it and type in 80, but you can see that it's not letting me type anything. Pressing keyboard keys, nothing's happening. That's because this is a view only. Typically when your teacher shares an assignment with you, it will automatically download into your drive, and it'll be one that you can edit. But if it was not set up that way and it's a view only, you can do File, make a copy of the entire presentation, or if your directions say to only do certain slides, you could do that. And instead of copy of, I'm going to put my name there. And then click OK. And poof, now I have one that I can edit. So teachers have been saying that students have been downloading it instead. If you download it as a PowerPoint or PDF or anything like that, you can't edit a PDF document. So instead of downloading, you want to make sure that you're doing make a copy, okay? And that's only if you don't have edit access. All right, so again, I'm going to go back to the one where I type. I'm going to press my zoom and then go back to my select tool, select the text, backspace, type my correct answer. Select the text, backspace, type my correct answer. Now I made a goof there. It's no longer centered. Anytime you make a goof, you can hit the undo arrow. Please remember the difference between undo and back. Back is a straight arrow. If you press back, it will save your changes and it will be messed up that way. Undo is a curvy arrow. Another way to do it is on the keyboard. You use the shortcuts Control. You hold that down and press the letter Z. That's another way to undo. If you undo too much, so I've hit undo too many times, I can press the redo button to bring it back. All right, so let's try this one again. I'm not going to get rid of the centering this time. There we go. And moving on. So this one doesn't have the text here, words written. When I go to type, it will still type in there though. Let's pretend that I have finished this assignment. I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom. Okay, so for this assignment, now that I'm back in Google Classroom, it did not automatically attach it for me. So I need to click Add or Create. I don't want to create a new one. Yes, I worked on slides, but I don't want to create a new slide. I already worked on it. It's in my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on Google Drive, and I'm going to find that project I just worked on. It should be in your recent things. So we named it with your first name and the assignment. Okay, if you want to check that it's the right one, you can click on it and it will open it up in a new tab. So I attached the wrong thing. So let's try again. I'm going to close out of that. I'm sorry, Xing deletes it. I'm going to add again, check my Google Drive again, look more carefully. This was the one that I actually wanted. Let's double check it to make sure we have the right assignment. It has the right cover. Scrolling down through the slides, it has the ones that we typed on. So that is the correct assignment. I'm going to close just out of that tab, and I'm going to turn it in. Yes, I wanted to attach this, turn in. Let's take a look at a different type of Google slide. So I'm going back to my classwork. You can see that this one turned gray because I have turned it in. I'm going to go to this tutorial. Again, I want to view the assignment. I want to read any directions my teacher left, and then I can go into the assignment. Okay, so this tells me to solve the problems and drag dashes to the numbers if I need to regroup. So 5 minus 9, I can't do that. I need to regroup, so I'm going to drag a dash. And this one, let me drag the dash here as well. So this would be changed to a 7, and this would be changed to a 15. 15 minus 9 is 6, 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay, remember that your files are automatically saved when you're using Google Documents. So when you have finished everything, you can close out of that tab. So again, I want to go to my Google Drive, attach the file I just worked on, make sure it's the right one, turn it in. Let's take a look at another type of Google Slide assignment. Again, we read through the instructions, then we can click on the file. This one was set as a view only again, so we need to make a copy of it. File, make a copy of the entire presentation. Again, go back to the name. I don't want it to say copy of. Instead, I'm going to make it say my name there. Click OK. All right, so it's opening it in a new tab for me. I'm going to close out of this old one. And this one is drag and drop. So here we've got 3:30 and 1 o'clock and 4:45. Okay, so moving on. This one wants us to label each minute on the clock, then determine the time shown. So I need to click in here. This would be 00, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. I'm guessing they don't like the setup there, so we'll make those single digits. Okay, again, this one has the typing boxes that are ready for me to type it in. So the hour is 1, the minutes are 30, and the time would be 1:30. But let's pretend that those boxes weren't there. Let's pretend that I had to write it. I can make my own box by clicking text box, drawing a box, and then I can type inside of it. That would be the easiest thing to do. Your teacher might want you to use the scribble tool, in which case I would go to my tools, choose scribble, and I'm going to draw it, double click when I'm done and it makes it. Hit my scribble again, 3, double click, hit my scribble again, 0, double click. Obviously not the most effective thing. If you're doing letters or numbers, I would definitely be using this typing box. But there might be other things. Maybe they want you to draw hands on one of these. Okay, something else your teachers have requested I talk about is reading instructions and directions. And I've mentioned that a few times. You always want to click View Assignment, and you want to read the directions before you click on any attachments to that assignment. Your teachers thought it would be helpful for you to remove yourselves from old classes so that you have less classes to look at. So if you had previously been in some Google classes last year, I want to show you how you can take yourselves out of those. Finally, your teachers want you to be able to use Google Forms, and that is going to be how you show me that you understand this lesson. Let's say if you're in one of the classes, remember you can use your 3 lines and go back to your full class view. So I'm going to add this student into my first grade class. All right, and I'm going to go into the classwork to show you about completing a Google form. So again, we always click View Assignment first. We make sure we read all of the assignments. If the teacher wrote any class comments, we want to read through that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the quiz. This one says to put in my name. Whenever you get to the end of a quiz, the last part is to press Submit, and that will turn it in. You can often view your score. Some teachers will set it up that you can view it right away. Some of them, they won't let you do that until everybody's turned in their test. I have set it up that she can view her score right away, so she can see that she got 5 out of 5 and see how she did. All right, I'm going to put her in another class. And we're going to pretend that she completed her typing.com assignment. Remember, I said that I can see everybody's typing.com. So if I go into a class, just pick South Grade 3. So I have access to see exactly when you've logged in last and what you've done. And I had asked you to mark the assignment as done when you were complete. So let me go back into the student area. Classwork. So that was the typing.com assignment. I'm going to view the assignment. Now for this one, there's nothing to add to it because it was something you did online. So when you choose mark as done, then I know to go look at typing.com and to see how much typing you did so that I can award your points. Now let's talk about that other part about unenrolling from classes. I'm going to go back to my class list. And if you have a class from last year that you should not be in, or in Riley's case, classes that I fake put her in so that I could do this demo video, if you use the 3 dots, you can unenroll yourself. Please be very, very careful about this. If you unenroll yourself from a current class, you will lose all of your work, your teacher will lose all of your grades, and you will need to do everything over again. So it's very important that you do not unenroll yourself from a current class. But if you have something that's from an old class, you need to unenroll yourself. The one good thing is your work will remain in Google Drive. So if you do accidentally unenroll yourself, you will be able to re-enroll by doing the join code, and you will still have all your work in Google Drive. You would just have to go through and resubmit everything. That would be a pain. Do not unenroll yourself from current classes. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I know it was rather long. In your classwork, you have an assignment that has 5 questions on a Google form to show me that you understand it. So show me what you learned. I'd like you to get into that assignment and complete it based on what you learned in this video. Thanks, everybody.